The French government plans to fix the age of sexual consent at 15. Now, this would be the first such law in France, which currently does not have a rule saying a child under a certain age is considered incapable of consenting to sex.
That's correct, Molly. And the proposal comes after widespread shock at two cases involving 11-year-old girls with adult men. Yana Lee reports.
Statutory rape, a notion that doesn't yet exist in French law. For rape convictions, prosecutors must prove that there was constraint, threat, violence, or an element of surprise against the victim, implying that the act was forced. Now the government wants to create a minimum age of sexual consent and set it at 15. This means children under that age will be considered victims of rape, as they'd be legally unable to give their consent. The proposal comes after two high-profile cases involving 11-year-old girls. In February, a 30-year-old man was acquitted of rape after a jury decided there wasn't enough evidence given the current law. In April, a similar case came to light when parents accused a 28-year-old man of raping their 11-year-old daughter. He insists the sex was consensual. Deciding on a threshold age isn't without its controversy. France's Judges Union says the new law should stay away from automatically convicting the adult, especially if their ages aren't too far apart. In the US, some states use a so-called Romeo and Juliet clause. The provisions protect young adults who engage in sexual activity with teenagers, whilst still upholding the principle of statutory rape. Details of the new French law will be unveiled on March 21st.
Now, this new law will also target sexual violence and harassment. One measure will see a €90 fine for catcalling on the streets or in public transportation. Well, according to a 2016 survey, some 87% of female public transport users said they had suffered harassment, but only 2% had filed a police complaint, even though in a large majority of cases, a witness was present.
And a government spokesman has admitted it would be hard to catch offenders in the act. Junior Equality Minister Marlène Schiappa told France 24 the government must prioritize tackling sexism and predatory behavior. Let's take a listen.
It's a cultural problem. Some things have been accepted for years, for generations. For a long time, people thought, oh, well, that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter. Boys will be boys. These things were accepted, but they are not accepted any longer. And I think it is the role of the law, because the French Republic can say what we tolerate, what we don't tolerate, and indeed, we do not tolerate to see women harassed or threatened in the street or in public transportation.